who needs a break when you can get straight into the next game? And correctly, as assumed, Istanbul Wildcats have indeed put themselves into the triple digits, 107 points. Of course, I mean, 40 of their points are for those chicken dinners alone. And then when you add all the kills they've had to it, that just makes it look even better. So interesting unfolding of today's events so far. We've had a, I don't want to say a boring standout game. It was actually quite interesting, but a somewhat predictable one at that. And then we went over to Miramar, where it's just been, I mean, I don't even know. It's just been tough. I mean, the first game with all these southern rotations, and then this one where Impala just became, I think, did we have 30 people alive before the last circle showed? And then all of a sudden we went down to 19 extremely fast. Crazy games nonetheless. Stella from 4th place all the way down to 9th now. They've fallen out of the equation. Crazy Crew, they were sitting in last place for a whole day and a half, and they're now in 12th, tied with HeartShift. And Existence, they were in 2nd place on day number 1. They are now in 15th. So a ton of crazy things happening so far on the turf for all these teams, and on the path for all these teams to try and qualify through. And of course, for those of you guys who don't know, what these teams are looking for is to get top 8. That's all you have to do. Manage to get to top 8, and you will be through to the next round that will be played next week. So if those of you guys are questioning and wondering why a certain team is doing what they are, something, if they're in first place, maybe, I mean, technically, as we said, Wildcats might not even need to get more points from now on for the next 5 games. They should be pretty guaranteed to be in, so they can technically do whatever they want. If there's a certain team, that's the thing, right? If there's a certain team Wildcats don't want to play against, let's say they don't want to play against Stilla, Wildcats could technically now, for the rest, for the next 5 games, Wildcats could just hot drop Stilla, because they don't want to have them go into because Wildcat is kind of already secured, and if they say, oh my god, we always rotate into Stilla, or we always have issues when we fight with Stilla, whatever it may be, they could force the fights with him. And Pablo guy, that's more like a Repo guy. Unfortunately for him, he's gonna get run over. Mini secures a point down to low HP. Actually, this could be costly. This is a committed flush, I guess you can say, with the vehicle. Almost lost his life trying to do that, but it did work out in the end. So TonyTeam lose a player early, and as I said, I mean, Wildcats, if they want, don't really need more points. So if they want, they could potentially try and do some prioritization in terms of who they want to go up against and who they don't. But I wouldn't. I mean, as much as it on paper would make sense to do that, I wouldn't expect to see that happening. We'll see. We'll see. We have to wait and see what's gonna happen in terms of who goes where and whatnot over the last day. Of course, we do in the long period leagues, like the pro leagues and whatnot. We tend to see some variations on who goes where, but I would assume that this being a 16-game tournament, we don't really see a lot of creativity in terms of last day. Ooh, this is when you have to do something different. I don't think that's gonna happen. I would assume that tomorrow, at least in terms of where teams land, it would be somewhat similar, if not completely the same, as to where they've landed previously. But then again, I mean, as I said before, we have indeed been surprised previously, and I wouldn't be surprised if we were to be surprised again. A lot of surprise for everyone. Boris, they've had a decent day today, racked up kills and managed to find their way to late games. They haven't had a win, but we'll see, of course, if they can get something going here in the final one on the day. For those of you guys wondering why we're playing tomorrow, because wasn't it supposed to be finished on Thursday? Yes, it was. But because there were some issues yesterday, I don't know exactly what the issues were, but there were some issues. We weren't really able to get any games going. I was talking to myself, which I kind of am right now as well. I was talking to myself for a while I hoped that the games would start, but they never did. So unfortunately, the games never got going, which is why yesterday's games are going to be played. Well, technically, yesterday's games are played today, and then today's games are played tomorrow. But everything was postponed by one day, just so it makes sense for all of you guys out there watching. I wouldn't want to have anyone being super duper confused about any of this. TonyTeam, they're looting up school and apps. They lost a player in the very, very start of the game. And of course, they're, I would assume, hoping that they can get something going here. And I say that a lot, but that's kind of what it is, because you want to finish the day off on a good note. You wanna go into tomorrow's game, because you always remember the last game, right? It's the same with I've had the comparisons before with theater. How if the final scene is good, then the play was good. I know that's not true, and that's probably theater people sitting out there being very critical about it now. Same thing with a movie. If that final fight, like if an Avengers movie finish off with an insanely good fight, and it's a 3-hour film, then that final fight, like people will go out of the cinema with a feeling that, oh my god, that fight was so good, and then they kind of forget about the first 2 hours that were really, really boring. It's kind of the same thing here from a mental perspective from a player. Not saying that's the complete correct thing, but it kind of is, where if you had 2 0-point games, if you go into the next day finishing off with a 15-kill win, you're still going to be happy. I mean, of course, those 0-point games are awful and you would have wanted to avoid them, but it's still, damn, we had a good finish to the day, you know, and then you'll be, at least you should be pretty satisfied. So we'll see if any of these teams that have had a tough start to the day can finish on a good note. And then are they playing cat and mouse? Silent night, holy night. Okay, I thought they were dancing around the Christmas tree there for a second. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but but nonetheless, we are making our way further towards the first circle shift. Not sure why they would play Tom and Jerry games around the tree there, but that happened. I guess they were just in such a good spot in the circle that they didn't even have to care, you know? Sometimes you're in such a good spot in the circle that you don't even have to care. It's like, you know what? We have practically won the game already. Why even bother rotating when we can just sit on this shack out in the open? That's probably the best position you can get yourself into. Just do that, you know? Probably the best spot you can be in. I honestly don't quite know why they were doing what they were, but seemed like they didn't really care too much about rotating, at least. Or maybe they were just waiting, you know? Maybe that's instead of, you know how, perfect example, when you want to take a boat over to military, you don't, like, if one teammate or 2 teammates are really slow, you don't want to just go in the boat and sit still and wait, because then obviously if someone sees you, boop, 1 headshot and you're dead. Where in this case, I think it was more of, we're ready to rotate. Come on, guys, we're ready to rotate. We're ready to rotate. We're ready to rotate. And then the guys were a little slow, so they just drove in circles and kept yelling at their teammates. And all that, intruders, for rotation that took you, I think, approximately 200 meters further west. Because they were they were driving in circles around the shack that was just east of where they are now. And all that patience and circle driving just to rotate a couple of 100 meters. That was, I guess, very, very, very patient. But it panned out. Aw, Hawk, at least you could drive over the cameraman. He's put so much effort into being in this exact position. Does he not do it? Does he hit or does he miss? Oh! It's as if he knew. Enod, do you have the clean feed? I guess technically it wouldn't matter too much because there's a 10-minute delay on the clean feed, so he would just see what I'm seeing anyway. But that was an impressive hit by him. And hopefully managing to hit the cameraman with a vehicle will also be him hitting all the opponents. Now that the circle's closing on in here on the final game of the day. Huge potential. Again, 0-point day yesterday. And today hasn't really been their strongest day either. They were, I mean, kind of just like Extends, where they were in such a good position after day 1. And then day 2, things just fell apart for them. But of course, we're only 3/4 of the way done after this game. So there's still a full day of games tomorrow. And in all fairness, I mean, if Istanbul Wildcats can go out on a day and get back-to-back chicken dinners 2 days in a row, then maybe, just maybe, huge potential. And Existence can get themselves some, or Existence, sorry, not Existence, but Existence can get themselves some points as well. Enot, a little creativity to vault up on the mobile home. Might even be able to get all the way up on the roof of the big building. I'm actually not sure if you can do that. I don't think that's possible. At least not from where he is. Let's see if he's looking over. They don't want to rotate blindly into GRHawk. Makes perfect sense. Scout forward. Don't want to rotate too early. And now let's see. So many teams on the center or southern side in the circle. HeartShift's down towards the farm side of things. Okay. So either you rotate over a potato, you go through Pachinki, or you wrap around east or far down south. I would assume to see a big curve in teams. You can already see it now. Rewap, they're going to go over the northern side. Wrap around potato, don't want to go over the top of it. Get yourself down on the southern side and find some compounds down there to play from. It's so much more valuable. You can always crash up and into the forest, but it's not going to be easy to get a compound late game if you don't have one already. Because if you have a compound already, then it's pretty easy to get it, you know. Toby, sometimes you just say stupid things. In this case, though, alrein gets found by Quick, and that's important points accumulated for a team that's had a very tough tournament so far. Witty is shooting over towards Ferrari Breach, but in all fairness, they have a team right behind them they probably want to focus on instead, because as you can see, huge potential there nearby. So I might want to keep an eye on the guys ahead of you, or close to you, rather than the ones trying to drive away. Dre is down to 71 HP. He knows for a fact that these guys are in the nearby vicinity, but isn't really able to do a whole lot about it. Keevo was shooting over towards Marco, I believe. That would be him shooting there. At Ferrari Breach, go from one contested area straight into another. I'm not sure if Marco knows he's there. You can see he's looking out in the direction, but I'm not sure if this damage was done when he was trying to leave the forest up here by existence, or if it was done earlier. I'm actually not quite sure. What I can see is a player from Ferrari Breach way down the water. That's of course not optimal. You should be able to swim all the way around though. We'll have to wait and see. Keevo gets to leave as well, make his way back towards the double barns, as I like to call them. Double barns, farmhouse, whatever you want to call it. It's just a little confusing to say farmhouse when there's literally a place called farm that has houses on the map. That can be a little misleading. But as long, I guess, I mean, that's always, people go so in depth with, oh, they should call it like this is the correct call out. No, this is the call out. You know what? As long as your teammates know what you mean, and as long as you can all kind of provide info fast, then you can call things whatever you want. Farm, barn, whatever you want. Mikhailovic has spotted existence over on the other side. But even from a top tier player like Mikhailovic, it would be a pretty difficult shot to connect at that distance. Everything is quiet on the southern side, and just as I say that, Ojala starts shooting, breaking the piece that we had just before. And this is exactly what I was expecting to see. I mean, for the most part, everyone's south of the dirt road right now. The dirt road that goes up in the northern side. We can see just the corner of your minimap there. Everyone on the southern side of the dirt road are playing compounds from where they can, well, chill and lay low for now. And it actually kind of true. Other than FBI, Okko found a crate, fair enough. He's going to swim all the way out there. Keep in mind that next circle can go down to water as well. So this one could hard shift south and Okko would be both happy and sad. Now let's see though. Because if it goes north, he's going to be in a hurry, and it goes a little up north. Okay. Imagine this one hard shifting into Pachinki now. That would be... oh my lord, that would be horrible. That would be absolutely horrible. Wildcats, well, they know for a fact that MJ Esports over on the compound on the other side. And now Rewap coming in from the north. You can see that on your minimap. Level, they're rotating around the backside of the circle. And they might be, oh, finally! He gets, oh my lord, you've been swimming for so long, and then it's a Groza. Okko, that is sad. He's not even going to take the Groza, I would assume. Nope. Doesn't bring it along. He's been swimming for so long. But he does get a level 3 helmet and the ghillie suit though. So I assume it's it was worth it. It was worth it for him. But I think he was a little sad when he saw that it was a Groza. GRHawk pushes back up the hill, or at least he's going to try to. The only question is whether he's going to be able to have enough speed to get all the way up there. So they did manage to get the rest up, despite the fact that Existence actually got the knock close. He is going to be able to, or they are going to be able to get the rest up onto him and rotate out of there. MJO... he knows that opponents are nearby, and of course, having heard, he was contemplating, am I gonna leave here and let them be, or am I gonna try and shoot them? And he tried to run off, and now he ran back. And then I think In all fairness, had he just stayed and started shooting, I think it would have been much better off than running back to the vehicle first and then start driving. But in any case, that's what happened. And now they'll have to make the rotation as well. Kowo has already rotated forward. TeraVelo and Pluto gonna make their rotation in. Nice. TeraVelo stopped and didn't run his teammate over. I like that. Again, you guys are saying, oh, but Toby, of course he would stop and not run his teammate over. But then I'll just say, go watch some PEL. People run their teammates over all the time. So it's definitely not a guarantee that that won't happen. Just because we expect them to be super duper high tier professional people, they still do a scary lot of damage. I would actually love to see a statistic on how many players have been run over by teammates in PEL Phase 3. My bet is at least 1 per game. Or 1.5 per game. Something around there. Because there's been a ton of it. And it does, even though it's kind of funny and ha 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 when it happens early, it does happen. Scary amount of times. And does have quite a big impact. Rewap are playing on the northern side. Seems like HeartShift are making their way into that exact direction. So maybe we'll see a HeartShift / Rewap fight escalate in a short while. Rewap are a little split, as you can see, and HeartShift are driving straight into the middle of all of it. And here are Stella chilling in the compound. But as you can see, yep, the fight is indeed ensuing on the northern side. Rewap's position paid off, and now they get the circle shift 2, and they have found 2 of the HeartShift players right in the middle. If we could see that, thank you, mageBane. Finds himself 1. Able to get the line up, it's going to be ewanng on the other. So Mike and Kowo slaughtered without knowing anything of what was about to commence. TonyTeam, they're up there to potentially third party. And now existence on foot. This is going to be a long run in the open. Akko, he's been taken down. There's something with Akko being in water and getting killed. That's every time he's been in the water, he's been killed immediately after. Wasn't it? I think it was Akko who went out for the crate, right? I might have been wrong. I'm pretty sure it was Akko who went in the water to get the crate. I might be remembering wrong. It's like, what the hell? That's a rolling US. He is indeed gonna go down. The Bushman was found after getting ashore, and now we have 3 guys in 1 vehicle crashing a building with 3 people in it. That is going to be absurdly scary. 1 down. Sammy is there to help. Rezo rushed. What? Rezo ran over washout, and all of a sudden they're all kinds of trouble. Marco is still alive though. Proned outside, has to readout, under half HP, gets the flushing towards Sammy. There's 1 more player to deal with, able to get the first one, but not able to get the last one, unfortunately. 1 player too strong for them to do anything about it. I'm not sure exactly how Rezo managed to run over washout, considering the fact that they both managed to make their way out of the vehicle. But now let's see if Radoga will go from 1 fight straight into another. Jump throw, get those smokes out everywhere. The teammates are there on the back to help. But it's not gonna be easy. Witty, Dre, the only 2 remaining players from existence, and they know where they have to go. There's no way for them to push north. There's no way to push south because there's still people down there. Oh my lord, MJO's forced to crash into. How does he not spot him earlier? Maybe. Oh, Genso couldn't get the angle because of the railing on the stairs. Like, you know how sometimes when you peek over the stairs, the railing goes full weird, or your weapon goes weird. I think that's what happened next. So he's trying to shoot him, but he just couldn't connect anything because of the staircase. That's unfortunate. We've all had that happen before. Dre running further forward. Tries to get the underneath flank on towards the guys from Spirit, and that's actually paid off, kind of. No. XKeevo. Damage taken, but that's also the information that's Team Spirit needs in order to pinpoint his position. They know he's been running underneath, and that's gonna be all they need to find him. I like the idea of him splitting, but maybe shooting a bit too early, unfortunately, will go down. Radoga goes down in blue. It's phase 4, and oh no, Asmadeyka goes for the rest, and he's gonna go down to the blue as well. Asmadeyka went for the rest, and yes, you can do this for 1 of 2 reasons. A, you cannot rest him and get him back up again, but he was knocked, or if he was knocked by an opponent, which he was in this case, you can rest and then die to blue again. And then you'll deny the kill for the opponent. So even though it seems weird, then sometimes it does pay off anyway. HeartShift will be eliminated. MJO was found. And PagyrA threw the nade on in there. Crazy crew forced down into an area from which they don't really want to be. TeraVelo was being the nice guy and opening the door for his teammates, but nothing happened in there. Unfortunately, his teammate was flushed. Fine, that's a nade on you. You should be dead. Yep. Down he goes. Moonlight through one forward. Able to get the knock and flush in. I would assume it's just a short moment. Circle shifted north. So we're going up towards TonyTeam. And, well, I'm looking down towards Istanbul Wildcats. They had 2 wins in a row yesterday. They have 2 wins in a row today. And, now we'll see. Now we'll see when they don't get the circle if they can pull off something here too. Moonlight. Oh, that's some good shots, mageBane. Able to get Moonlight down to just 6 HP. But now the cavalry is arriving. You can see Yaz and his teammate. They're making their way further forward. FLasm does go down. GuessWho lands the shots needed to get the knock in there. But they need a lot more damage done if they want to stay put. mageBane and GuessWho, I believe, are all by themselves in this area of the map. I don't think ewanng is down there to help. I don't think the last teammate is up either. I think, yep, if he was taken down just before. Or if he took him down just before. So it's going to be just them 2 up and alive, and they have to disengage. It's becoming too much pressure. They've lost the info on where their opponents were. There's not a whole lot more they can do in Ale Cup. Finds XKeevo. 1 more vehicle still driving forward. Just send it smash into the circle. See what you can get prone, and I would assume that you're gonna get shot real soon. But maybe, who knows? Maybe. You can stay alive for a little while longer. Sando. Alongside Extends trying to spot out the guys from Intruders. They're all forced to make the push forward, and I think that's exactly what Boris knows. So they don't care so much about making their way into the circles. They're close enough already. For them, it's mainly just about holding off Intruders and making sure that they have some more room to play from. mnlt shooting over the top. They know they're up there, and they know they have to push forward. That's the issue, but I like the position that Boris have put themselves into, trying to contain them while they're inside the little valley point there. lQuickl spots one over the top. Extends has been called out. He does go down, though. Perfect got had the backside angle. MOLNMAN's gone down as well. Extends lets this fight once more. Sando is the last player alive now in this nearby area. Mikhailovic and Perfect got much further up the hill. Extend skills go down, and mnlt and Markelov might just be better off running further down the hill here. Not a lot they can do from the position there. And Crazy Crew starting to lose players to blue, and Mikhailovic and Perfect got now both getting knocked. mnlt once again there to do damage. 7 kills already for the Intruders. Good performance for them so far. Ooh, headshot from Stratus. They're on the edge of blue. Sando gets find him. Stella down again. Tough day for the guys, and Intruders should be eliminated too. Yep, that's gonna be them out in 9th place. Unfortunately, there were simply too many players looking down towards them. Central now, though. I mean, Boris, there were 4 guys alive just before, and now they're down to just 1. So tough rotation. Tough rotation for them. TonyTeam in the center of the circle. You can see how Blackliht and Saban are playing the southeastern side, trying to contain anyone pushing in from there. Makes perfect sense. You have Fibberino up in the compound, holding strong, and then you have these 2 players trying to make sure no one comes up on the hill. Because when if you kind of secure one side of the circle, then it should be pretty fine. It wasn't because nobody wanted to shoot. I like Zolters just saying, you know what, I'm dead. He saw that nade land on his feet, and he was like, yeah, let me just fire some bullets in the air and say good shot. I think that's what it means, right? When you shoot into the air like that, it's like, you know what, you got me. There's nothing he could do in that situation. Nate right on his feet. He gets taken down. And now let's see MJ pushing forward with vehicles. That YaZheSanzhar inside the compound to provide some cover fire, but it wasn't really needed. Nobody was really looking towards him. Tarvilo by himself running in the blue. That's gonna be a difficult, if not near impossible, push for him to make. As I say that, though, TonyTeam shoots a little from above. So a little bit of a cover fire is provided from another team. Blackliht with the final bullet in the chamber finds the knock on towards Juno. That's optimistic. Is that nade actually gonna hit him? That is 2 nades thrown. I think approximately a kilometer short of its target. They were not even close. Not even close, those nades. And those are 2 nades that I think he would like to have later in the game. So we talk about it all the time, guys, but utility, now he forgot which tree it was on as well. Utility management is key, especially in open ending, like open area endings. Smoke grenades, nades, all these things. They like, if you can avoid using a nade, then you're most likely better off not throwing it, unless if you know that you're gonna hit your target. Of course, if you're in a situation where you can't do anything, then just throw them, because you're most likely going to die anyway. But here, they have so much control. Save those nades until they get closer. mageBane down to the blue. We saw one knock coming in towards one of the MJ players just before as well. You can see BSD prone down, gets the knock on towards one Apocalypse, finds Stratus, and that should leave. Just Juno left alive, and not for much longer. Wildcats, Wildcats, oh Wildcats. They might not win this game, but they already have 7 kills, and they're looking for more. What in the hell has happened to them? They have absolutely and dominantly stepped up their game over the last 2 days. 2 wins yesterday, 2 wins today already, and now they're looking at potentially a 10+ kill game if they can get out of this southern side alive. Circle goes east, and they will have to push up into not only the guys from TonyTeam, but also Level. As I say that though, Level and TonyTeam find each other, and TonyTeam within seconds completely wiped off the table, and that should actually leave some room for Wildcats to push up on that side. They have 4 guys alive, keep that in mind. Level only have 3, so no wait, do they have 4 guys alive Level as well? I think they're only 3. Moonlight does find Genso. In the meantime, we're looking at GuessWho crouching forward. Did Genso get baited by the crate? Did he want the crate? Iffy taken down by Lassa. We'll see what more they can do here. Lassa does get found in return, so trading 1 for 1 so far. Moonlight taken down as well. BSD able to find one. YaZheSanzhar's gone down too, and BSD gone down. So FLasm all by himself. They have 11 kills so far. It's a good game for them, no matter what happens. But Apocalypse is pushing forward. He knows he tagged FLasm. It's just a matter of whether he spots him, and he does. But oh, okay. The timing. There was 9 names in the kill feed at the same time there. So Wildcats go out in 3rd. Level goes out in 4th. With over 10 kills. There were way too many names to kill feed there for a second, but that's of course because FLasm got all the kills on the Wildcat players that he killed. Okay, makes sense. And now GuessWho? Well, he's been chilling for a while, and he got 2nd place. Unless if something completely absurd happens. Set up, spots one, not gonna happen. Huge potential. They've had some very, very, very tough games, but finally they managed to make something of it. And it's a 3-point win, and I don't even think that... Okay, they did get 1 kill at least. Maybe, yeah, they did get 2 kills on the rotation in. The guys from... Didn't they? Yeah, they did. They did get 2 kills. Here they are. Re-up. They got themselves 2 kills early, but I think that might have been all the kills they got that game, because they were taken down in the rotation. But still, 2nd place is a decent chunk of points, 6 points at that. So that's gonna be a solid, I would assume, 8-point game for them. And of course, I mean, it's the 2 teams. That's the funny part of it. It's the 2 teams that were sitting on the northern side without really having to worry about anything that managed to win the game. Oh, they ran out of the building and looked the wrong way. That's unfortunate. And that because of that, he's allowed to get the flush on him. That's really, really, really unfortunate. But the interesting game, crazy way to end the day, to be fair. Very, very, very interesting way to finish off the day. And I'm looking forward to see this kill of this scoreboard, because now huge potential with that win. I know it's only 13 points, but that should throw them a bit back up the leaderboard. And once again, I mean, Wildcats, they're racking up them and Level both had over 10 kills this game. And they really, really, really played it well. Then we have TonyTeam, of course. I mean, we saw in the beginning of the game how they lost a player in the very start of it, and that's of course really unfortunate. But they still managed to rack up quite a few points, I believe, from the position they were in. And then Wildcats, I mean, again, from a position where they didn't really have anything to go from, they still managed to go out and rack up a ton of kills and get into 3rd place. I mean, that is very difficult to say the least, but somehow they managed to make it work. Not an easy area to fight from, especially when you have to push uphill all the time, and they were fortunate, I guess you can say, that Level were there to deal with the opponents, because, I mean, in the end of it, Level and Wildcats were just slaughtering everything, and that's why I didn't see a whole lot of other teams with kills at all. Existence, horrible day for them. I think we can be fair to say. Stella as well. I only think they racked up 4 points on the day in total, so that's a very, very tough day for them. On the other side, though, Wildcats and Level 11 and 13 kills. Very, very, very impressive, especially Wildcats. I mean, 2 wins in a row on 2 separate days, and now they finish off the last game in 3rd place, which could technically have been maybe not a win, but they could easily have had a better placement had Enoch not been taken down there, because that might have allowed for them to get some rests up too. But very interesting day to finish off, a very interesting game to finish off the day for sure. We all thought it was going to go down south towards those compounds, but not quite the case. Very, very, very tricky finish off to it all. But guys, that's going to be it for me for today, with the kill feed lighting up. A kill feed with the kill counters here. You can see of course who got the most kills in the games. And then remember, tomorrow we're playing as well. We didn't get to show anything yesterday, so there will be games played tomorrow. Unfortunately, I won't be the one casting it. I'm 1990. That's my birth year. Woo woo woo. Wildcats, good job. No, but I won't be the one casting it. I'm not sure who will be, but of course you would want to see that, because that's gonna be the day where we determine which 8 teams are going into the next stage. Right now it's stage 1. Next is gonna be obviously stage 2, and you can see the overall leaderboards here. 123 points from Wildcats. Wow, that is impressive. Very impressive. Huge potential. Get up into 9th with that win. Stella, further down they go. They were sitting in 4th place yesterday, and now they're all the way down in 10th place. But then again, up top it's very close. 63, 64, 67, 62 down the line. Very, very close tournament so far, guys. Nothing is out. Even existence could make their way up. Remember, it's only top 8. Doesn't matter if you win. It's all going to be reset in the next stage anyway. So, impressive day, guys. You can see the scoreboard here, the leaderboards. I'm going to hop off. Thank you so much for tuning in, and see you all at some other point, because I'm not casting tomorrow. But come back on the stream tomorrow. I'm sure whichever other person will cast will be happy to say hi to you. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you liked the casting. If you did, you can you can follow on social media. My name is the same on Twitter and all those things. If not, then have a good day and take care. I'm done talking now. See you guys. Have a good one.